Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF. Joined as always by my main man at FF Snoog. And it's Tuesday, so of course my man Broc Dynasty. And we got a great show lined up for you. You know, we got the Nico Collins jersey back up here. I got my sour Jolly Rancher today because a lot of you guys are sour. You missed the playoffs. We're here to help you, right? Just because you missed the playoffs in Dynasty doesn't mean you're done. This means the season just getting started for 2026. And you guys that are all in, we're going to bring you guys some trade ideas. We're going to talk about over 20 different trades today, how to get over the hump. Broc, this is that time of year where you realize you're either made it or you didn't, right? Like we're all talking about, am I a contender? Am I a rebuilder? Now you know. Like now you're in there. Now it's time to really I don't play in leagues with trade deadlines. So if you have a trade deadline, you still can get some good ideas here, but no trade deadlines. Create some of the best trades you're going to make.
Yeah, I mean, you worded it there good. 50% of your league if you're in a standard 12-team league. 6 of you make the playoffs, 6 don't. So for the 6 that don't, how can you go ahead and maybe give one of your contending pieces or maybe one of your older pieces to one of those teams who's trying to push a few chips in to go ahead and try and take the championship? So take advantage, get the rookie picks, maybe a little bit cheaper. Right now, this is the last chance because once the season ends after, what is that, week 17, and the new league resets, Sleeper does it like the day after those Monday games end, all those rookie picks are going to jack up. No one's going to want your Devontae Adams anymore, your James Conner, even Christian McCaffrey. All these old guys are going to be worth nothing. So it's going to be interesting, though. You got a 3-week window here to make some moves in leagues with no deadlines.
What's interesting is you could sell Devontae right now for a certain price. You could buy him back cheaper. Once it's all
3
said
weeks.
and done.
Yeah,
you know
honestly.
That's what I'm doing.
I don't think people realize that kind of cyclical nature. And Snoog, you and I are really starting to dive into, we're starting to look at the rookie class, and a lot of people have, taken a dump on this rookie class. And you and I are starting to find some guys we really like. We just did a rookie preview here that Broc's working on an edit here. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about a lot of different theories here as far as the 26 class, but I'm starting to get closer to 6 or 7 guys I really like. There was a time 2 months ago where we were like, oh, there's a 3-guy class, and now I'm 6 or 7 deep and there's like 3 or 4 others. I'm starting to actually be like, okay, I could see this guy being worth the late first.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like every rookie class, right? Like it gets more and more love throughout the offseason. Obviously, we get bored. We got nothing to do. It's February, March rolling around, snow still on the ground, football's over. People start diving into rookie prospects. The more you watch, the more you like, right? It's like one of those things. So people are going to start to want these picks, especially in the top 4 to 5. Like we're going to talk about a little bit tonight, down a couple of rookie picks involved in some of these trades. I think right now, I mean, there's 3 really good dynasty wide receivers and an elite dynasty running back right now that you can lock in, guarantee, and probably 2 top 5 to 10 draft pick quarterbacks. So I think we're going to get some good opportunities to capitalize on some rookie hype.
Here we go, right off the bat, for the love of the game. You see that hashtag FTLOTG. In Dynasty for 5 years, and I felt like I knew a lot. Chesty LaRue says, I joined the Discord 9 months ago, and it's given me that extra 20% that I needed. All my teams are playoff bound. We've locked up the 101, 102. Cheers, lad. No, cheers to you, brother. That's a cowbell. Honestly, I get so many comments like this, and I think what we really try to do, Broc, and I don't hear a lot of people really talk about this way. They talk about trades. They talk about things. Our process is top 3 or bottom 3. I sent it over to Snoog right now. I'm in 21 leagues, and I only have 3 that aren't top 3 or bottom 3. And it's like last year I was 100%, top 3 or bottom 3, because if you're top 3, you're set for the playoffs, right? You either have a bye or you're that number 1, contender in that area. And if you're bottom 3, this is great. You get the 101, 102, 103. This year's class is set for that. And that's how you don't get in that treadmill of mediocrity where you're just sitting there in the middle. So many dynasty managers sit there forever. And the best place to do that right now, honestly, is in the Discord. But this is something that we hit on more so than any podcast I know.
Yeah. All right.
He's like, I got you. He's like, we're just going to go.
I was seeing the super chats, and I'm thinking about reading them. So this one coming in from Justin Credible. Appreciate the super chat here, Justin. For 3 wins in a row and a for the love of the game. Hey, that's all you need. If you didn't secure a bye, 3 wins is the magic number. Could be 2 if you got that bye. Hey, 2 games. I think it's week 7, 8. It doesn't matter. But the stress will be higher, obviously, than that. But, yeah, it's all you need, Justin.
With that, I mean, I have a lot of guys that are like, you know what? I don't feel like paying a second for Jacoby Stafford. That was a Freudian slip there. But he's playing like him. But or they're like, you know what? I don't feel like paying a second. You and I talked about I paid a second for Devin Neal, but I locked up a round 1 bye. If I didn't do that, I literally would have lost this past week. And it's like at this stage, your seconds, your thirds, you're buying players like, I sent you an offer today for a third and give you Singletary and a fourth. It's like, dude, if you need a flex, I can't see thinking the entire offseason and be like, you know what? I just rolled out a turd sandwich in the playoffs. You win 3, it's the glory. That's your payday.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I'm excited. I mean, I had a bunch of first round buys, but I got a couple teams that are going to have to try to kick it forward this week. So going to have to set those lineups regardless and take advantage of Phillip Rivers on the waiver wire because I'm putting claims where I can.
Right? Hey, I'm 44. Phillip Rivers is 44. I'm just feeling it, man. This is our time to shine.
Might have to start padding up. Get ready, Dad. Start hitting
and we were
the
talking about
camp.
There's your link, patreon.com/smash accept. Got a super chat here from Sleazebomb. What's up, boys? Just showing some love. No better Dynasty advice you can get. # locking in. Check him out. Sleazeball on Dynasty. He has his own Discord. They're doing so on Twitter, I should say. He's got a bunch of stuff going on. Great YouTube channel. Make sure you check him out. And let's go to your regularly scheduled program because this is going to be a fun show. I mean, there are a lot of questions. I got 20 of them locked in already. I see you guys, the super chats are already up to 5 because here we are, Brock. It's the final trade show Tuesday before the playoffs.
Yep. Yeah, there's always a bittersweet, the last one maybe before the season starts, the last one before the season ends, and this one here before playoffs. So it's kick it in gear or take advantage time. So trade one coming from FF Bird Gang, submitted on Twitter. We got AJ Brown and Stephon Diggs or Addison and the 201 Snoog. What do we think here on this first one?
I'm all over the AJ Brown train right now. Like he is an elite level wide receiver. He's been lights out for the past 5-6 weeks now, Dad. He's been absolutely dominating. So I'm all over that. I think he has a smash schedule rest of the season. I think they got the Bills. They got some big shootout games coming up. So I think AJ Brown's people keep talking about who the next league winner is. Who's it going to be? Chase Brown's a good name. I think AJ Brown's another one. Like Chase Brown, who had a slow start, definitely underperforming for where they were going in drafts. Burrow's back, and now Hurts is starting to throw the ball a lot more. AJ Brown's getting those targets. I think those two are going to be some really nice league winners for you in Dynasty.
I was a little bit sour there. AJ Brown, a couple touchdowns called back. I mean, he could have had a monster game.
I know.
But, 3 straight 100-yard games. And this is a matter of, Addison and the 201 should be pretty close to AJ Brown. I would rather have AJ Brown. You're getting a free Diggs here. I don't think Diggs is a guy I really want to start in a lot of playoff opportunities, but getting AJ Brown here is an absolute smash. And I think this is where you have a contending team where you have the 201. You got it from somebody else. You're going to flip it and you're going to try to improve your team. And Addison, let's be honest, nobody in Minnesota is winning you a championship. There's not a single player. Nope. It's not Justin Jefferson. Then it sure as heck ain't Addison or some of these other guys. The tight ends were catching touchdowns, but with JJ McCarthy, we don't have a lot going on.
That whole offense is unstartable. Like even the running backs are just nothing. Like you don't want to play anybody in that offense right now. I don't know what's going on there.
It's a desperation flex for this week because you're hoping Jordan Mason or Aaron Jones you get a couple rushing touchdowns against the Cowboys this week, but that's it.
Yeah, they put up like 34, and I don't think there was a single player
Jefferson
over 15 points.
Jefferson should be able to have a big game this week. Like,
there's a couple leagues where I'm like, do I play him? I'm eyeing up Terry McLaurin on the bench, and I'm like,
well, let's talk about Justin Jefferson because it's like if you have that, would you add a second to get CeeDee Lamb's hurt? You know what I mean? Like, what do you?
I think CeeDee's going to play this week, though.
But if you do it like straight up for Rashee Rice, if you but I mean, you're talking about you can't start Justin Jefferson. You just can't.
I'd rather throw a first away at an Adams or someone like that.
But not everybody has that. I'm saying if you just have Jefferson, we always say that, right? But like, let's be honest, a lot of contenders, they don't have their first anymore. And if you're trying to move Jefferson, it's a tough time to move him.
Amon-Ra's the cheapest I'll go.
Yeah.
Right at that. I think Amon-Ra, Puka, JSN, Lamb, Chase. I'd be adding for the big dogs, and I'd be trying to do
Because of his
Amon-Ra
age,
straight up.
nobody's adding that though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's the weird part. Is he's 27, so no one's like, oh yeah, I'll give you Puka. Why? Puka's
Best bet is
outperforming him and he's
finding
younger.
someone. Yeah, I think your best bet's finding someone that's already out of the playoffs. That's like, I'll take 26-year-old elite Justin Jefferson, you know? Like, if they have Amon-Ra and they're the same age, they're probably like, all right, yeah, sure, I'll do that swap. But that's your best bet. Otherwise, you're stuck just kind of starting them and
just hoping for the best.
hoping that 9 can throw a football 10 yards.
The last 2 weeks, it's what, 2.4 and 3.1? Like, we're not even talking about like bad for Justin Jefferson, like 8 points in fantasy or 10
See
points
what
in
he
fantasy.
said?
We're talking about
That's
like wide receiver 75.
Yeah.
You know,
Did you guys see what he said? He's like, I'd rather get the ball, not get the ball and win than not get the ball and just chirping.
Yeah.
McCarthy's real bad. I just don't know. I mean, it's still early on for him, but he's giving me major Zach Wilson vibes. It was like that with Garrett Wilson and Zach Wilson. Like, he just couldn't hit Garrett Wilson. It was just an issue.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't continue that long, or that will be brutal.
I hope not.
All right. This super chat coming in from nephew EJ. Appreciate it here, EJ. He said a late first and a second for Nico in one quarterback league. Ring it up.
That's Nico all day. Nico's worth 2 late firsts at minimum. You know what I mean? So, like, this would be, I think Nico, I mean, low key is been putting up solid numbers. I think you can get him, like, even if this is a mid first and a mid second, I think you win this trade, especially at one quarterback. That's even more so. So, this is a great trade.
I think he's a top
that
6
one.
wide receiver on the year, right? I mean, the past, like, whatever weeks, he's just been so good, and they have so many good matchups coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's just been getting fed.
The good thing is, too, with a good defense, gets the offense the ball more. So him and Stroud can cook. All right. This super chat coming in from Doof. Appreciate it here, Doof. Burrow, Jalen McMillan, and a 26 mid to late first, 27 mid to late first, or Jaden Daniels and George Kittle Snoog. What do you think here?
I think that's the biggest cowbell for Joe Burrow I've ever seen in my life right now.
Yeah, I don't see any. I mean, even if you think that Kittle's worth a late 27 first, you're getting a first on top of Burrow. I got to take that side all day long. I mean, with Daniels, it's tough. You got to make these decisions of which way you want to go with your team. And is he going to be the guy for the future because of the injuries that just keep piling up? I think he's fantastic. But this way you're getting Burrow with the insulation. And even if you're not contending, I mean, this is perfect for me. Contending or not contending, I'm going the Burrow side. All right, let's slide back up here. Dude, you guys are killing it. There's so many comments. I love it. We're going to get to as many as we can. Again, the only way to 100% get in is on those super chats. We are going to be giving away the Nico Collins jersey. So every single super chat, you guys are entered in that. We'll be doing that right around Christmas time. So keep them coming. Nordlandy's up.
All right. Wait, this is just a normal trade here. So we got Bucky or Christian Watson and the 106 Snoog.
Ooh. I like that insulated move. You get the production right now. Watson's been lights out. I think right now, I'll say this first. You sell Christian Watson everywhere you can if you can get a pair of seconds for him, because we know how it works with him, right? Like he has these games and then he's hurt. It's gonna happen. Like it's just he's destroyed injury wise. Like it's just the way it is. Some players are injury prone. He's one of them. Playing great, but getting that 106. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. The 106 is always such a good pick. And if you just look at the past, 3 or 4 rookie classes,
right?
Name the 106 right now. The past 4 rookie classes.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're looking at like Brock Bowers
Judkins,
this past year.
Bowers.
Yeah, exactly.
Before
it's been
that,
fantastic.
Chris Olave, Kenneth Walker.
I'm taking the Watson side personally as well, because I have Bucky worth the 104 right now. And I think I would firmly pay the 104. But I do think, I mean, Christian Watson since week 11 is the wide receiver 6, 17 receptions, 264 yards, 5 touchdowns. His yards per route run, he's always been elite when it comes to that kind of metric. And it's interesting because it's like when he's there, I mean, I paid a second in 3 different leagues last week, and I have no problem doing it. You know what I mean? Because he is putting up elite level production. Him, Michael Wilson, but at least with Michael Wilson, and you're going to get Marv back. Christian Watson, Jaden Reed came back, and it was still the Christian Watson show. You know, and they got a really nice schedule down the stretch. So I think I would do the Christian Watson side unless I was really running back needy. because like, at the end of the day, if Christian Watson gets hurt this week, then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I just essentially gave up Bucky for this. And that's what stings. That's what you really got to go with it. Because like Christian Watson has been a guy that year after year, you're like, ooh, look at this flash. Ooh, look at this flash. Does it for 3 to 4 games and then gets injured. So depending on where you're at, I could see that, like if you need that running back, this is just one of those fun trades towards the end. If you need a wide receiver and you're loaded at running back and all year long you've been starting running backs and had Bucky on your bench, I could see making that insulated move. I can also see saying, you know what, I'm going to take the 106. I need a running back. I'm going to package Christian Watson because I have 4 other wide receivers. But if you're a Justin Jefferson owner, fire up Christian Watson. Go get him cheap. I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. All right. Trade 3 coming from Travis D, submitted on Twitter. We got Jaden Higgins and the 104 or Lad McConkey Snoog.
Give me the 104 all day long here. I love this. I love this.
There was a time about 8 months ago where Snoog said that he would take the 103 over Lad McConkey. I have never seen as many YouTube comments just blasting what either of us saying you're gonna regret that. Lad McConkey is so much better than anybody in this class at the 103. Most 103s, you got Tedderoy McMillan. Tedderoy McMillan is 2 years younger. Tedderoy McMillan's putting up top 10 numbers. Lad McConkey's just disappeared of late. Like he had 2 fantasy points this past week?
I think you could argue 7 players in the 25 class over Lad McConkey. I think I know we said definitely
in the 27. Okay.
I mean, no 25. 25.
It's 25?
Yeah. Henderson, Judkins, Hampton, Genty, Dart, Tet, Abuka. That's what? How many? 6, 7? 7?
That's 7.
I think Warren. Are you taking Warren over Lad? That's what I'm saying. So I think it was 103 was the argument. And I was like, I'll take friggin' 104 and 105 over him because it's just like that insulated move you get, right? You get added value
next
on
year,
top.
You got Lemon, you got Tate, and you got Tyson.
Yeah.
You get a re-roll, and one of those, if not multiple of those, and then you get Jaden Higgins are going to get drafted in the first round, and they're going to get potentially better situations. And Jaden Higgins actually, he's a nice little buy. He's actually played really well down the stretch. I think he has 5 straight games with 6 targets. He did really well. Yeah, he's a good player. He's nothing great. He's not going to blow the top off. But at the same time, I would take the insulation here. I mean, there's no argument to trade for Lad McConkey if you're a contender. There's not because you just – what are you doing? Like, he's not putting up the points to help you win. And I love him as a player, but Justin Herbert's injured. They're going to rely on the run. It's just not – it's not prudent. It just doesn't make sense sometimes.
Let's talk about this for a second because – Dad, the 104 right now, it's like everyone's kind of talking about, all right, maybe there's a QB or 2 mixed in. There's a good chance that 104 it's Carnell Tate or Mekhi Lemon, or even if you like Jordan Tyson there as well, like that's probably guaranteed one of those 3. It is guaranteed one of those 3, or Jeremiah Love, right? So you're guaranteed one of those 4. But there's a chance you get your wide receiver 1 in the class right there.
Don't fall in love with a prospect every single year and not be willing to sell them. I mean, Lad McConkey right now on the season is wide receiver 24. That people were paying the 102, 103 for him. And, you look at the last 3 weeks, wide receiver 65, 20, and 84. Like it's just
like a
hasn't been there. It's been up and down. But this is what I'm saying is we have these windows where you have Rome Odunze. He's killing it. You can sell him for this guy plus. And now we have opportunities where you can do this again. And I think you re-roll sometimes when a guy isn't popping. You don't re-roll on a Malik Neighbors. You don't re-roll on a Tedderoy McMillan. But if Buka's struggled, you could have re-rolled there. Lad McConkey, there's a lot of opportunities we have just because of names. And people don't commit like we do to the next year's class. They're just like, well, this is what I got. And next year's class is probably going to be bad because some random guy on Twitter said it, or because this class burnt me, then next year class is going to burn me. You're like, it's a cyclical game. Keep it up. Here we go.
You have to be able to understand real quick too, Dad, like you said, you have to understand the difference between is this guy performing because he's good or is he performing because of his situation in fantasy point situations, right? Like that happens a lot. Like Lad's not a Jamar Chase level wide receiver, so he's not situation proof. Other guys come in, they take from him, right? he's not set it and forget it, the number one guy there that's always going to be there. So,
yeah. Terrell B here with our next super chat. Appreciate it, Terrell. Currently the 5 seed and has 102 next year's draft. Would you trade it for Bucky for a playoff push? His other running backs are James Cook, Pacheco, and Tootin. Snoog, you're shaking your head no?
nope, not doing it.
You need, hold on a second. So, I mean, I'm with you. But if those are your running backs, I mean, James Cook's fantastic, but those other two are putting up 3 points a game for you. So it's like this is where you get to that time of year. I just said Bucky Irving's worth the 104, right? Yeah. But if there's nothing else out there, you know, like you go to all the owners and you try to say, I'm going to get Devin Neal cheap. I'm going to get Kyle Monangai cheap. I'm going to get Devin Singletary cheap. And if teams aren't willing to trade and this is your only offer, if I got to choose between starting Bucky, because the 102 to 104 next year, I don't think is a massive gap. We're going to talk about this in another trade, but you're going to get Lemon, Tate, or Tyson. All three of them are very close in my rankings right now. So, like, I think one of them is going to ultimately ascend above the rest of them. However, Bucky's not an asset that's depreciating. He's not an asset that's going to fall off. Like, he is going to be there. And if that's the difference between winning a championship, because he's the 5 seed, he got in, so he's trading the 102. I would rather see you trade your 27 first potentially if it's late, you know, but the 102, I would make that move if that's the only move you can make. You know, Broc, like I want to get your insight on this too, because sometimes we talk about it and Snoog and I get tunnel vision sometimes because we think so much alike where it's like, go get Devontae Adams. Or we're like, go trade for this guy cheaper. Because we do it. Snoog, you know I do it. You do it. But then there's some scenarios in your league where it's like, no one's trading right now except this guy. So is this too much to give up that 102 to 104 gap?
Yeah, this one's interesting because
it is.
Typically I look at trades like this and it's like, even if you were to go ahead and buy him for the 102 and you don't win at all, I don't think you're burned still. So that's a real big part of the argument. I think another thing would be to probably message Dad or Snoog and just look at the entire roster. Like, is this going to put you over the edge? But even if it doesn't, you can still fall back on the fact that if you need a running back in next year's draft and you miss out on Love at 101 and you're receiver heavy, then you'd probably flip one of those rookie guys for a guy like Bucky. So like Dad said, I don't hate it if you're really running back needy, but your roster should be pretty well built out. You should have decent depth at wide receiver to make that move, in my opinion. Because the rookie draft picks are going to jump up right when it ends. You know what I mean? And then you're the one that has all the leverage in that situation.
Let's skip to number trade 15 here. Let's check it out.
All right. This one coming from a 21C Doge from the Discord. He said, a guy at 104 wants to move up to 102. What's fair value? Dad, I'll throw that one your way.
See, this is where I'm at, right? It's like I said Bucky's worth the 104. And this guy was talking about trading the 102. So, I mean, what is the gap between them right now? Yes, it can increase. Can 102 get into the 101 tier? No, there's not a scenario where any of these three wide receivers ascends to an area near Jeremiah Love. So, Snoog, I have 102 to 104 in that same tier. I would argue I would take a second to move from. I'm not doing it now because it's only going to increase in value. I told this guy I would want a late first. And you're not going to get it. You know, you would want a late first or a 1-2 swap. Realistically, the gap between 102 and 104 right now is what, a mid-second?
Yeah, I'd say it's like a second.
That's where we're talking about that Bucky deal. We're talking about, would you give a mid-second to make sure you're winning a championship? Because Bucky's looked really good in back-to-back games.
Yeah, he has, but like it's pissing me off with how the Bucks use him. It's like he could score 25 fantasy points a game, but they just decide to use Rachaad White on all the third downs and then Sean Tucker too. It's just like annoying. It's a committee and it's just really frustrating, even though Bucky's the clear-cut best. But right now it's like I want the 102 over the 104 by a mile. And if you want the 102 from me, you're going to give me a first or I'm not budging. Because that come draft day, the 102 to 104 could be a massive gap. Like,
draft capital.
Jordan Tyson's already battling all these injuries in the offseason. Like, already some red flags there with him. Like, there could be a huge gap between him and Lemon and Tate, right? He could fall off and go pick 28 and the other two could go top 10, right?
Yeah.
So
when you and I look at this, though, almost every single year, I mean, this is our third year doing this together. We've kind of assessed where the tiers are pretty accurately the year before, and I think 2 to 4 is going to be pretty close. My only argument is, do you want to win the championship? 18 and 19 touches since he's been back. And then Bucky gets Atlanta this week, Carolina next week, and Miami in week 17. He's one of those guys to me. Bucky is a league winner right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm okay in that one trade where we were talking about giving up, was that the 106 and Christian Watson. And I'm also okay with giving the 102. I hope that clarifies it a little bit. We're just trying to look at both sides of the fence sometimes, get a little bit deeper in here for you. Love that. Let's get on to trade number 3. We just did actually trade number 4.
All right. This one coming from Bibbing 1848. We got a win now team, Lamb or Rome and Emeka Egbuka. Dad, what do you think?
Oh, man. Could you imagine making this trade in week 4?
I know.
Right? But this is where we're at this is why elite centerpiece and cornerstone wide receivers are so important. Like Snoog and I did a show on foundational wide receivers. And, when you're talking about the neighbors, you're talking about the Chase, you're talking about Puka, you're talking about Rice, you're talking about Lamb. These guys don't miss, right? Rome has been up and down, and Egbuka started up and now has fallen off a cliff.
Yeah.
I think on paper, if I'm win now and we know Lamb's playing this week, I would take a shot at this. I want, in an ideal world, I want you to throw me a second. I want you to give me a player of some kind of value that I can put in my lineup, but you're probably not getting it, and that's when you get to these type of situations at the end of the year, Snoog, that guy wants the tax. You got to pay the tax to win the championship. And every single one of these trades so far, you can kind of see that a little bit where you're like, all right, 102 is the tax for Bucky. This is the tax here. This is a slight overpay. I love it if I'm rebuilding. I love the Egbuka side, but I want that glory. I want CeeDee Lamb. Give me the championship.
Yeah, give me CD as well. I still am a very, very big believer in Emeka Egbuka. I think he's really talented. I think a lot of it's Baker, and I do think he has his fair share of moments, like the drop touchdown. He's had some other bad drops, which is weird because this is a player that has some of the best hands coming out of college we've seen. Caught everything thrown his way. At the beginning of the year, caught everything thrown his way. I know he had that hamstring injury, and then he started to fall off a little bit there, but I mean, the volume and opportunity still there. Target-wise, I think he's going to bounce back. Rome Odunze, I'm getting off every single Dynasty team I own him in. Get a 27 first plus a player that is intriguing, uplifting, and value because I think he's a massive sell right now.
We got 2
even his
questions here
teammate Luther and pick like that, I'd be willing to pivot off.
Yeah.
All right. Ryan 000 coming through the super chat. Appreciate it, Ryan. Rashee Rice or the 104 and 105 pre-lottery spots. I'm not sure if that has a chance at being higher. We don't know the full context there, but Snoog, for face value, 2 top 5 picks for Rashee. What do you think?
I'd take the 2 top 5 picks, pre-lottery spots. So the
Yeah,
at worst,
there has a chance it
101,
could be higher. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking that by a mile.
Yeah.
By a mile.
Yeah, because
another
the
one.
If you have an opportunity, I mean, the 101 is going to be worth equivalent, if not more, than Rashee Rice. And then you get those other opportunities in
Definitely
there.
More.
4 and 5 are going to be nice. He has a 2-part question here.
Yeah, he says, is it fair to say that the play this year is to trade down for Mendoza, for Dante Plus? He mentioned it to you on Snoog, but I think right now until we see draft capital with these quarterbacks, if Dante's even coming out, there's still some rumors there. We don't really know what these guys are doing. Dad, do you have any insight here?
Yeah, this Snoog and I talked about this last year, and we're going to talk about it this year. Last year, we were saying take Jackson Dart, skip out on Cam Ward, get yourself back there, maybe take a shot on, Tyler Shuck late, maybe take a shot on Jalen Milroe late, but neither of us were investing in Cam Ward because just because he's the number 1 quarterback in a class does not make him a good quarterback. And just because Mendoza, Moore, or Simpson are going to be the first quarterback drafted next year, I want the one that gets drafted last out of that group, or none. This is why we want to invest in foundational quarterbacks, and none of these 3 have foundational traits, in my opinion. I would rather take a shot on one of the way Shador's played, the way Tyler Shuck has played. Like when we get to draft season, Give me a 27 first plus one of those guys rather than one of these guys here. And I think that's going to be something that's feasible because I really like the way that those two rookies are playing right now. There isn't the elite draft capital, but they're playing really well, and you want to insulate off of those. But if Snoog, we do it every year. Like I sold Cam Ward for a 27 first and Travis Etienne during the rookie draft. Then I sold Travis Etienne in a second for another 27 first. Plus, I forget there was another player involved in there, and that other player I sold for a second. So I got 227 first plus a second for Cam Ward. Like you can do that because teams every year they just get desperate for a quarterback, and they're like, this is the guy. Like dynasty teams are like NFL teams; they're desperate for quarterbacks. Meanwhile, we've been hitting on those bigger quarterbacks, those veterans taking care of business, and you just roll with those guys. Love that question.
Absolutely.
Great question.
Yeah. Trade 5 here coming from Jones CM128 from the Discord. Got another contending team. I got Hampton and Lamb or Warren, Judkins, and a late first, assuming 2026. Dad, what do you think?
This is very achievable. Little bit of a cowbell there, but I mean, I want Hampton over Judkins, and I sure as heck want Lamb over Warren in a late first. Like Warren's good. I think Warren could see some wildcat this week. I mean, if Phillip Rivers is truly the starting quarterback, Warren could see an amazing volume as the tight end because let's be honest, I mean, Phillip Rivers is pumping out kids, not pumping up deep balls, so he's gonna be throwing that short to intermediate and then
still.
Dude, I don't know. Don't
he must have been training still. He must have been training still and like doing stuff.
He had to have literally called the Colts at some point. Like, or somebody knows within
and
there.
And then like, I'm ready,
You're not sitting there and you're like, I wonder who should we get? Oh yeah, you remember Phillip Rivers? They got drunk. They got drunk and they were playing one of those games where you start naming old quarterbacks.
They clearly think you're still contenders.
Neil O'Donnell.
There's no chance that team makes the playoffs. Like no chance. They're gonna get swept by the Texans. Yeah, they're junk.
This is clear cut for me. And I saw a Twitter poll today where it was 50-50 with Genty and Hampton. And I think that's still a little blasphemous. But Hampton looked really good on his first game back. I think he's just going to continue to ramp up, and he's arguably in the best rookie situation for all the running backs right now, outside of RJ Harvey, who's been the RB2 over the last 3 weeks. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like Genty and Judkins situations can only get better. Like Harvey, Hampton, and Henderson, they're all on, very good playoff team offenses right now. Long term, the next year or two, like they're just gonna be the starters at some point. Dobbins, Ramondre Stevenson, these guys are gonna fall off a cliff.
Stefanski really wanted Judkins' situation to get better, so then he put him in there in the Wildcat because he's like, "Hey, we're gonna lose. Let's improve our pick." Dude, that was so bad.
That was definitely so intentional.
He was, and the gap was wide open on that side. Yeah, it's like imagine your young quarterback who's throwing for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns, plus ran for 1, gets a touchdown there, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I think a Wildcat here would be nice.
Crazy. Trade 6 here coming from Corey Ackerman from the Discord. He said, "What's a vague value of the 101, and should he hold or sell?" Snoog, we'll throw this your way.
I'm not selling it unless I'm getting 3 first. I'm holding until Jeremiah Love gets drafted. I will put a lot on the line that he's a top 10 draft pick. And you know what happens when a running back gets taken in the top 10. So I think that you really, even if he doesn't, if he goes in the teens, he goes to the Rams, he goes to the Bengals, one of these teams that has the luxury to make a pick like that and get a superstar that's going to take the offense to the next level. Dallas, maybe if they don't make playoffs.
He's our dynasty RB3, if that explains things. Wide receiver wise, I think he falls right there. I mean, I have him over Rashee Rice. I have him over Ibuka, over London, probably equivalent to Amon-Ra, to be honest. Like, that's what we're talking about here is like, you are going to get a foundational asset here one way or another. So I would wait, let that increase unless you get 3 firsts in the 27 class, which you're not probably going to get, or you get Lamb, Neighbors, and Jigba, Puka, and you add a little bit. And I know that sounds crazy, but like this pick is going to be worth an insane value. Think Ashton Genty, but a bigger gap.
Yeah.
Like, because there was like Hampton, Judkins, Henderson, they were all good. The RB2 in this class is not even 2 tiers below him. Like it's
at least the RB6 or 7 last year, probably. which is crazy to think.
What you think?
Like the RB2 in this class would be like RB6 or 7 last year
in the
out,
Scatterbo range or worse.
I think Scatty would be RB2 in this class. I think. Yeah, I think that's like the line. As a prospect, I think Caleb Johnson would be probably RB2 or 3 coming out, despite his flop. But yeah, you hit it, Dad. I mean, I'm hearing like right now it's viewed like last year, right? Like the best players in this class aren't considered, premier positions, right? Like it's like Caleb Downs, safety, Jeremiah Love, running back. Like there's a lot of, Arvell Reese, he's like a hybrid linebacker. So it's kind of a weird class. You could see Jeremiah Love go top 5. You could see him go 2. You could see him go 4. You could see him go 7. I think it's going to be really interesting. I don't want to sell the 101 until draft day because of it.
100%.
Yeah. All right. This super chat coming from High Class Scumbag. Appreciate the super chat here. He said the Hurts owner wanted out after his 3rd pick last night. He sent Burrow and the 6th seeds first for Hurts in the 101. Now has 101, 102, 104, and 527 firsts.
Dude, oh my God. You got the 101 and Jalen Hurts. Like, I'm pumped. I mean, yeah, he looked worse than a turd sandwich, and he became the first fantasy player of all time to get -4 on one play.
That was crazy.
And then, but he's been a top 5 quarterback. And I know he faces more scrutiny, but they showed that at the beginning of the game. Their run game last year was 2nd in the league. Now it's 26th. Last year, their O-line was top 5. Now it's bottom 10. Like those things matter. Without a run game, there are very few quarterbacks in this league that are going to shine. It's Josh Allen, it's Joe Burrow. There's a handful of guys. Jalen needs a little bit more. Like he's a lot of people are like, oh, he's a system quarterback. He didn't do that. He's a Super Bowl MVP. Just shut up. Like seriously.
Yeah.
Like I get it. You're pissed off. I get it. He's not producing, but out of the last 3 years, he doesn't. It's just an anomaly. It's not what he does.
Look at what happened. Look what's happening to Patrick Mahomes with no run game, right? I mean, he looked awful against the Texans, and even going a big tier down. Look at CJ Stroud's offense. They're like they probably are the worst run team in the NFL. Yeah. Their yards per carry, their efficiency in the red zone's absolute dog shit. So you need a run game. It opens up.
You can't start anybody against the Texans, not even Jacoby Marino this week. You know what I mean? You just can't do
it. All right. Next super chat coming from Roland. Appreciate it here, Roland. He said he sent Kenneth Walker, Bajal Tootin, and Mason Taylor for Olave and Fannin. He's the 2 seed.
Fannon's a stud, Dad.
Yo, you shouldn't even get. You shouldn't even get Olave for this. Because I mean, Kenneth Walker looks like horrendous right now in this offense. He's gone. Tootin hasn't been doing it. Like this is a smash. And Harold Fannin with Shador Sanders has been unbelievable. So like this is an absolute smash. Except giving you that on that one for sure. I mean that's a great trade. Harold Fannin, I would pay a late first for in next year's class. I'm actually at that point. He's no longer just a second. I think he's worth a late first. And you and I were ringing that bell early on last year in rookie drafts. And then he just kept slipping and scooping him up in the early 3rd everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This super chat coming from Tankum5. Thank you here, Tankum. 12-team Superflex best ball league. So no lineups are getting set. Trading Olave and a 26 and 27 5th rounder for AJ Brown and Rodgers. Snoog, what do you think?
Yeah. I think Rodgers has some really nice matchups coming up. He's been playing well. Like he's definitely a QB 2 to 3 that I'm willing to throw into the lineup if I have to with confidence. And then AJ Brown's going to outscore Chris Olave the rest of the season. So sign me up all day.
Yeah, and I traded him in one of the leagues where, guy was 3 teams were vying for the 6th seed, and I traded Rodgers in a 3rd for a 2nd. And he was reluctant to do it, but I'm like, listen, man, this is what gets you into the championship. This is what gets you into the playoffs. And Rodgers put up in our format, 26 points and got that guy into the playoffs. Yeah. And you just can't get too cute when you're talking about just trying to buy a quarterback right now, because a lot of people were like, well, I'll just try to get Tyrod cheaper. Well, that didn't really work out. You know what I mean? So we gotta get ourselves into that area. So
since week 6, Dad, AJ Brown, 14, 28, 3, 12, 25, 35, 16.
Yeah, he's been
That's
fantastic.
real good. Yeah, he's been great.
All right, we got a few here. We're going to start getting through a little bit quicker. We got trade 7 from SoCal Runner through the Discord. Daniels or Lawrence, mid 27 first and a mid 27 second, Dad.
It's Jaden Daniels, no doubt about it. However, you are buying Trevor Lawrence this week. Like, he is that guy. He plays against the Jets this week. He has 9 touchdowns in his last 4 weeks. Like, Trevor Lawrence is putting together a nice little series here where I have no problem, paying a mid to late 26 first, considering I don't like any of the quarterbacks in next year's class. Lawrence has been a flop, but he has a nice schedule down the stretch, and he's a top 10 quarterback this week.
Yeah, who knew Jacoby Myers would unlock that offense?
Dude, Cohen's system is so damn good. It pisses me off because that's Travis Hunter's role.
It was Travis.
It's what Travis would have been doing, so it just drives me nuts. But
all right, trade 8 here from Matt Life, submitted through Twitter. Got Judkins or Woody Marks, and again, like the last deal, mid 26 first and second on top. Snoog, what do you think here?
That's cowbell for me. Tear up off Woody with a mid 26 first and go get Judkins.
Woody Marks. I like him, but he's a means to an end. You're using him to tear up. I traded Woody and what's going to be the 212 for Javonte Williams because I was like, I need somebody that's going to be consistent on a contender. Like, Woody is just he's fine, right? But like if you told me the Texans draft a running back or sign, isn't Derrick Henry a free agent? Like they get a guy that's
either 1 more year.
Does he have? Okay, but there's some guys here where you sign a free agent. He's just a mid-level talent that's easily replaceable. He should be a third down back. He's gotten a lot more run this year than he will get in the future, in my opinion.
Yeah. Trade 9 here coming from Chesty LaRue, submitted through Discord. Got a contending team here. Adams in a 28 third or a 28 first. Snoog, what do you think?
I hate trading my 28 first, but I'll take Devontae Adams here and go get that championship. Depending if the team looks like crap, I'm not willing to trade my 28 first. I'm not gonna lie, but if it looks really stacked and young, I'll do this.
Yeah, I like Adams here. Shout out Chesty. Thank you for the super chat earlier on the show. Get Adams. Go win the championship. I got no problem with it.
All right. Trade 10, Shazam 49 through the Discord. Got Kyron, Jacoby Myers, or Devin Neal, Terrence Ferguson, 2 seconds and a third. Dad, what do you think?
I don't like making these kind of deals because if I deal Kyron, I ultimately want a first. Let's just take one of the 26 seconds in Myers and cross that out, which, by the way, you can buy Myers right now for that. And he's had a nice little stretch here. So I have no problem buying Jacoby Myers. So then it becomes Neal, Ferguson, a second and a third for Kyron. And it just doesn't feel sexy to me. I mean, Neal had a really good week. This is the kind of deal where I come back to the guy and I say, Kyron in a second for Neal in a first. Get the rest of that garbage out of there. Ferguson's not going to do anything for you. The late 26 seconds, like, I hope that makes sense. Like, it doesn't – the value's fine on the other side, but, like, 2 seconds don't really equal Kyron Williams. Yeah, that's kind of where I look at it. Like a first does. Any first, he's off my team. I don't even care if it's 110 next year. Like, he's off my team. If I don't need him for the playoffs.
He's one of the best handcuffs in football right now, though.
No, stop.
Corum's look good.
Kyron's still the RB1. Corum looks fantastic. But it's a committee now.
He's one of the best handcuffs to own in football right now.
Yeah, what happened to
I know, right? He's gone. What the heck?
They gassed him up all offseason and just put him on the bench.
They had that video of Sean McVay, like, literally going crazy about it. But anyways, here we go.
All right, trade 11 coming from That's Cheek Smash League. We got Tyler Shuck and 2 26 thirds, or
Give me Shucky.
Achilles tear, Daniel Jones. Snoog.
Daniel Jones is worth nothing to me now.
Hey,
like
he sent me this offer. This is my trade. He sent me this offer after the Daniel Jones injury, and I'm like, I like Tyler Shuck right now. Like, he ran for 2 touchdowns this past week. He's got 3 straight games where he's finished inside the top 20 quarterbacks. Like, he's not sexy, but let's be honest. I mean, if you get Tyler Shuck for a second, or would you rather draft one of these quarterbacks at the 106?
I ain't drafting any. Maybe I like Dante more.
I know, but like, I don't like this class. That's where we're at.
All right, trade 12 here, coming from Isaac Sanchez from YouTube. Got Nico Luther in an early 26 first, or Drake London, Scattaboo, and a late 26 first there. Dad, what do we think on this one?
This is kind of a weird one to me.
Nico.
Because I want the Nico side because I think the gap between Burden and Scatabo isn't that big. The gap between London and Nico isn't that big, but that gap between an early 26 first and a late 26 first is pretty huge. So, like for me, I don't see a real reason to take the London side. Like if you're contending, it's Nico because London's not even playing. And if you're rebuilding, why are you giving up an early first? I don't understand the vibe of this trade at all. So it's Nico.
Like that one. Trade 13 from Armin Paul from YouTube. We got an early 27 first or Pickens. We got a contending team. So it's, not his pick, Snoog. Would you deal Pickens or an early 27 for Pickens?
Early 27. You start getting scary there, trading those picks away. It's
early
real
26.
Scary.
Like
early 26, I'd probably do it. He's one of the top
102, 103.
Yeah. He's
But
so damn good.
I love our YouTube questions. Like he's phenomenal, right? But like an early 27 first.
That's freaking damn good. That pick is going to be like hitting the lottery if you land in the top 4 in that class. Right
now, you got your Dynasty 9 and 10 or 9, 10, 11 is Ted Arroyo, Pickens, in London. And it's like you can get him for this, but like Smith is going to be worth more than all of them. So it's like you have to know if it's got a chance to be the 101. But like if you told me Cam Coleman when he came out is worth more than George Pickens, I would not bat an eye at that. Like he's going to be fantastic. Ryan Williams, there's a lot of guys in that class. So if you better win it all. Like if you have your 26 first and you can trade that plus, do it. But if you do that early 27 first, you better be dang sure that George Pickens is going to win it all for you, or you can get it back.
Yeah. Trade 14, 5.0 beer 70, also from YouTube. He said he needs quarterback help, Purdy, McCarthy, and Shuck, and 426 first. So, Dad, if you had those players, that capital, what kind of moves would you be looking to make?
I know I was just saying I kind of like Shuck, but I mean, now that I see him in this scenario, I'm just like, I don't want to start these guys. Now, Purdy's fine, and we're in a weird spot right now at the quarterback position because I'm looking at my rankings now that Daniel Jones is out of it. I don't want to, if I'm contending, I want Stafford. And that really feels like it. Like
Stafford, Dak.
Stafford or Dak. Brissett, it's like he has the Texans this week, so I'm not messing with that. So, if I could roll out with Purdy, Dak, or Purdy, Stafford, but they're already – I looked today. I'm in 21 leagues. Dak and Stafford are on 21 contenders. Like they're not – at this stage, they're not there. So it's like maybe I give a late 26 first for Trevor Lawrence and roll out Purdy and Lawrence. But
I just start Shuck.
I know.
Shuck. Like, they played nobody. They've played nobody. They have like the easiest schedule the rest of the season. I just play Shuck. He's going to be in a bunch of turd sandwich, bowl games that are just
back-to-back top 12 weeks. He has multiple touchdowns in back-to-back games.
Burn picks.
I know. He's got Carolina this week, which is kind of tough, but then he gets the Jets in Tennessee. So, if you could do a late first and JJ McCarthy for a guy that's going to put you into contention. Even a
what about McCarthy and 2 firsts for Hurts right now? You think someone would bite on that?
I think they would.
Herbert, maybe.
The guys that we love, the Bakers, the Goffs, they're not putting up crazy points right now.
Sell Baker.
Baker's hurt. I'll buy him Baker. Give me Baker. What? Easy with the blasphemy on Baker Mayfield. He's our Cheesecake Factory king.
He looked like the MVP the first couple weeks, though.
He did. Lights were too bright. We got Doof coming back for another super chat. Appreciate it, Doof. He said JSN or Addison, Mason Taylor, and a 26 late first. Oh, my goodness. Bro,
the gap between Addison and JSN is 2.5 first. This is way off.
That's crazy. Dalton Middlestat, next super chat. Appreciate it here, Dalton. Would you trade a mid to late 26 first for Colston, Loveland, Snoog?
Mm-hmm. I would. I'd do it.
Yeah, Loveland's better than Sadiq, and this is no brainer. I love that trade.
All right, Mitchell Mayberry coming through the super chat. Thank you, Mitchell. Would you offer Judkins and Henderson for 101?
No.
He has Gibbs and JT already.
Oof.
8x8 league, so only start
No.
8 with no picks till 2028. Dad, what do you think?
Nah.
I'm offering Genty in a second for the 101 in a first or whatever. I'm keeping Judkins and Henderson, and I'm using Genty to get the 101. I can't deal both of these guys. Like, that's too much firepower there. You keep Gibbs. Snoog, I mean, I already have Love over Genty, but I think in a consensus area, you could probably get the 101 in a first for Genty in a second, or you could get 101 in an early second. If I get a plus on top of the 101 for Genty at this point, I'm doing it all day long.
Yeah, I don't like not having picks till 28. To me, that says keep the 4 young stud running backs for depth.
Yeah. Dion's raw coming through with the super chat. Appreciate it here, Dion.
Appreciate it.
For the love of the game, let's win some leagues, gents. Hell yeah. Love the vibes.
Hey, we don't normally do these, but I love this where he said, first time catching y'all live, but the podcast was a lifesaver this season. Got 6 teams in the playoffs and won with the 101. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Kyle Schnetzer. I love that when we start to people that listen to the show sometimes don't realize we're on YouTube, and people that are on YouTube don't realize it's the podcast. And it's like we produce them all. Every show that's on YouTube, we put on, on podcast form. Same way everything that we do on podcast is done either in a live format or in something that we edit. So I appreciate that. If you guys are listening on Spotify, Apple, whatever you guys listen to, give us a subscription on YouTube. We'd love that. And vice versa. I think the more content you get, the better it's going to be, the easier you can consume it. We want to give you as many opportunities as possible. So where were we at here? Got to skip down to 16 because we switched over.
Yeah. All right. Trade 16 coming from Ham through the Discord. We got Jeffy in a late 26 first or Igbuka. Actually, he's Justin now, Dad. Like how we did it with Brian.
Ooh.
We got Justin.
Or my name
we
is
got
Jeff.
Justin in a late 26 first or Igbuka and Henry Snoog. What do you think?
Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is the biggest cowbell of all time. Busted out.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm taking the Jefferson side all day. 100%.
Yeah.
That's why I thought you were going the other way after.
I think the first is on the wrong side.
I mean, I think the value right now is I think Ibuka Henry should get you Jefferson, but that late first is completely unnecessary.
Henry's not Henry in like last year though.
Henry's at nothing to me.
Yeah.
No, off late he's actually been pretty good.
Yes.
He's got to get in.
His offense sucks. I hate that.
He was only playing 50% of snaps till Keaton Mitchell got hurt last week.
Since the bye week, RB9, 14, 22, 8, 5, 11. So, I mean, he's been pretty consistent. And you look at his top 5 in carries during that time, too. It's just, did we start to see Lamar? Did we start to see him come out of it? I don't know. It's like one of those weird,
it's this week against Cincy. If he doesn't have the game this week against Cincy, then he's got New England and Green Bay, both great defenses against the run. That's gross.
Yeah.
But this is a week for him to have that 40-point Derrick Henry monster week.
I need it in the playoffs and the league. All right. Trade 17 coming from P Panthers through the Discord. We got Neighbors or Garrett Wilson and the 103. Snoog, a couple of your guys. Throw this one your way.
I'm going to take Malik here. This will get interesting. I think it's going to be probably Cardinal, Tatum, or Kyle Lemon. 2 top 15-ish dynasty wide receivers next year going into it for Neighbors. I think
Garrett and Lemon.
I think that's what it would come down to, right? Like, what's the context behind it? Like, do you need to kind of build out a little bit? Do you need to insulate and make that type of move? It's hard trading Malik Neighbors. I really want Garrett Wilson out of the Jets situation. Like, it's just ruining a career of a player that should be top 6, top 7 right now. So
I would come back to this guy and say Neighbors in a second for Garrett, 103 in a first. I just can't deal on Malik Neighbors. I don't think you're going to get it though, but that's how I would come back to him, is the good old Dynasty Dad 1-2 flop. Be like, oh well, your 2 is going to be early and my 1's going to be late. So let's do it. Yeah,
especially now it's like it's not week 5 or 6 anymore. The next time he plays in a meaningful game for you, if you miss the playoffs, he's going to be healthy and putting up points. So it's like you kind of miss the injury window at this point.
Like Neighbors
being so far out.
In February, Neighbors is the Dynasty wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
Or 3 at worst.
Yeah, he'll jump right back up. Trade 18 coming from D with a few numbers there from the Discord. We got Pickens, Garrett Wilson in a mid-26 first, or Rashi Rice, CMC in a 26 third, assuming the Rice McCaffrey side, Dad. Most likely contending. What side do you think here?
Smashing Pickens and Garrett here all day long. I mean, I put out my 2026 running back rankings, right? Just for kicks and giggles. I mean, Christian McCaffrey's not in the top 12. As soon as this season ends,
For Dynasty rankings?
that's right. He can't be a top 12 Dynasty running back anymore. He is, and the only reason he's propelled up is because of that production. But because of the way the offseason is going to go, he's going to get cheaper, and guys that are going to pass him. So at this point, that mid-26 first and CMC is pretty even, but then you look at Garrett and Pickens. I'm taking Garrett and Pickens over Rice all day because that's my Dynasty. Rice is my wide receiver 7, Pickens is my wide receiver 9, Garrett's my wide receiver, I believe, 13. So you're getting 2 really good wide receivers there. I can't see a scenario. If I'm all in though, give me Rice and CMC. I mean, you go in for the championship. That's what you play to win the game, right?
Yeah. All right, trade 19 coming from Stormy, submitted through Discord. We got Michael Wilson is cooking. Is this real, and what value should I sell? So he has Michael Wilson, probably not contending, I assume, if he's looking to sell, Dad. What would be fair value, we'll say, in 2026 pick value?
So in the offseason last year, you were buying him for a third, right? That was his value. No one was going to give you a second. Jacoby Brissett has kind of reinvigorated it. Marvin Harrison Jr. is not playing. It's a perfect storm for Michael Wilson, right? It's kind of like that Rico Dowdle perfect storm there for a little bit where Chuba wasn't playing and he was putting up insane numbers. The volume and the production is insane. He has been very, very good. I don't want to knock that at all. If I'm selling, it has to be an early to mid second. Because I'm assuming a contender wants you, or a 1-2 swap. I don't think I would take a late second. I think a mid second, I would want something else on top. An early second, he's gone. You know what I mean? But Snoog, the talent there, he's 25. He hasn't shown this in the past. He's been good, but this is insane what he's been doing. So very often do you have that 5th year breakout? I think he's at least he's not in his 3rd year anymore. So it's not like he's turned the corner and all of a sudden he's a superstar.
Yeah, I think it's just a match made in heaven for him right now. Obviously, when Marv's been back, he hasn't been as good. Jacoby Brissett's playing lights out right now for this team. It's just juicing everybody up in this offense. Mm-hmm. They're playing from behind, right? So it's not a situation that you can expect to stick. If I can get a pair of seconds for him, he's gone. If I can get in mid to early second, he's gone. If I'm contending, I'll pay a late second in 26. Yeah. But other than that, he's right around that range.
Brock, you don't have any seller's remorse. I mean, you traded him for what was probably mid to late second, and it's it's just process over results. You're going to reset it, and next year, I mean, Jaden Higgins went in that range last year, and Jaden Higgins is worth more than Michael Wilson, and you'll probably find a wide receiver in that same area next year too.
Yeah, if Kyler was playing and Marv was playing, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. So
Kyler's playing, nobody's eating.
Is the perfect storm facts. Well, maybe McBride's maybe. All right, trade 20 here coming from Daniel Kubilos from Twitter. Sorry if I butchered that, Daniel. We got Devontae Adams in a 27 first, or Ladd in a 27 second. We know what Snoog's thinking. Dad, what side do you like here?
I want Devontae Adams. I mean, Devontae Adams is worth more than the second, and Ladd McConkey that's
cowbell worthy for me.
In that mid. If it's a mid 27 first, that's very even. Ladd in that mid 27 first. If it could be early, you're going to kill it. And I think Devontae's going to win you championships, and Ladd's going to just frustrate you. I think that's what we're going to see the rest of the way. Is you're going to see a lot of frustrated teams there. So let's get that wheel out. We got 17 super chats today. We appreciate you guys. This has been a fun show. Last one. We will be doing these obviously straight through the playoffs, straight through the holiday season. We're going to flash up the Patreon link here. But right now, it's actually a good time you can actually give it as a gift too. We have opportunities there where you can gift a season, you can gift it to a friend, somebody that you've been I don't know what to get this guy. All we do is talk football. We have those kind of friends where you're like, dude, I know I got to buy something for my boy. What are you going to get? Get him a year subscription to this, and we have it right there, patreon.com/smashaccept. We have had very few people that have not stuck it out for 6 months, 8 months, a year. Most people come in there, they like what they see, they like what they're getting. The value is there. It gives you all my content, Snoog's content, everything you guys are looking for, especially in the Dynasty season.
Yeah. One more super chat popped up here.
Oh,
More of a redraft question. But Dad, who do you have higher in rankings this week, Lamar or Burrow?
Joe Burrow. I think I haven't done my quarterback rankings come out tomorrow. And Big Fish Dog, you're in the Discord there. Lamar turned the corner a little bit, but let's be honest, Joe Burrow did throw for 4 touchdowns against Buffalo in the snow. Baltimore's pass defense isn't that good. So 6-point passing, 100% Burrow, 4-point passing, slight lean Burrow, but they are probably going to end up being my like quarterback 5 and 6 because Lamar going against Cincinnati is also another really.
It could be a massive bounce back for Lamar, but Burrow's been nails. I know T's probably not going to play, but Jamar's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Spin.
We're giving away 3 here. Let's get it going. And again, guys, messages on Twitter or just incredible. I was like, he wins every single week. Sleazeball. Yeah, oh, there we go. Sleaze would want us to give it away to someone else. So let's
Fantasy Finals VIP just tossed the love of the game in there, so I'm going to throw him on the wheel. There's another guy, another super chat we just got, so it's been the wheel with him on there. Said long time listener, first time live. Let's go.
Love it, man. Thanks.
Every Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern.
I hope you. Is that nephew EJ? Welcome to the crew. Again, I'm at Dynasty Dad FF. He's at FF Snoog. Message us on Twitter or put it in here. Let's see. We got 2 more here, Snoog. Let's hit it up. We got a lot of first timers here, so hopefully we get another one.
Terrell B.
That's another. There we go.
Another. That's 3 for 3, right?
No, we're giving sleases away.
Okay.
And rolling. Guy. All right. Love it, guys.
Love it. One more.
We'll
give it a couple shuffles.
What? No, that was 3. You want to give away 4?
No.
All right.
Well,
guys,
yeah, but too late.
We'll just keep them going. Just give away 112. We'll just get one week. We'll just spin the wheel the entire show. Kind of have some fun with it. No, guys. I mean, honestly, it's one of the most enjoyable parts of the day for Trade Show Tuesday. I had someone message me the other day, and this was kind of like, because I'm not going to get emotional here a little bit but he's like going through a divorce right now. He said, your trade show on Tuesdays has been an escape from reality, and I appreciate that. And as someone that's gone through that myself or other people that have gone through things, if we can give you an hour to escape from that and you enjoy this show, let us know. I mean, that kind of stuff really resonates and goes a long way, and we really appreciate that. Everybody goes through these kind of things, and if fantasy football, a lot of us get pissed off. We start to think, oh man, this trade sucks, or this player's bad, or it's literally just a game about trying to establish friendships, trying to establish, a connection and move forward. I mean, Snoog and I are winning every league we're in, so if you're already in there, it's just about making friends. But no, for real, like it's literally a game that's meant to be enjoyed, and if you are overly stressed about it. When I used to be in 2 leagues, I would sit there with my computer, my phone, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, this guy needs this guy needs that. The more leagues you get in, the more you get into Dynasty, the more you dive in, you're like, this is just fun. It enhances football. It doesn't make it worse. So if you guys want that, make sure you check us out, patreon.com/SmashAccept. Thanks again for tuning in and enjoy the process.